tonight, our WUSA 9 crew was robbed in Northwest D.C. Ironically, they were working on a story about an app that warns you about sketchy neighborhoods. Mola Lange and his photographer James Hash, as well as intern Taylor Bishotti, just got back to the station. So tell us what happened, Mola.
Well, Jan, you know, typically we're reporting on these sort of incidents. Tonight, we were the victims of one of these incidents. I'm not going to speak for these guys, but I think I can for just a moment when I say tonight was a heck of a night. I mean, we went through quite a bit. So, as you mentioned, we're doing a story on an app that describes sketchy neighborhoods. It led us to the Petworth neighborhood of Northwest. Not going to call it a sketchy neighborhood, but as folks were telling us that, you know, it was a good neighborhood and not much activity happens around there, as that was being told to us, our van was being robbed. So this is what happened. We got back to the news van, noticed that our lock was popped out, got in there, and noticed that all of our stuff was gone. I had a backpack full of electronics, work-related electronics, a laptop. Hash, what'd you have in there? This is James Hash, by the way, photographer. You had 2 backpacks stolen.
Yeah, laptop, all my photo gear, a couple small cameras that we use from time to time. It was just a disaster.
Gear that you had built up over a career.
A career
Of being a photographer. 15 years. And Taylor, you had some stuff stolen.
I had a purse, a wallet, iPad, cracked iPhone.
Now this iPhone ended up saving us. Taylor immediately began tracking her stolen iPhone using my iPhone, which was not stolen. After we filed a police report, we began tracking this thing. To make a long story short, because this was a 4-hour night, it led us to a couple of dumpsters in another sketchy neighborhood. We'll give the eyeball test. You don't need an app to tell you that all the time. I'm not going to tell you which neighborhood it was, but based on that, it's the type of place where stolen goods get dumped, I guess. So that's where we found our stuff, inside of a dumpster next to a couple of apartment buildings. And my man Hash here jumped in the dumpster. I mean, yeah, he was chest deep in the dumpster, literally emptying the dumpster out, rooting through trash. I think you said you felt like you stepped on some rats at some point.
We did see the raccoon.
We saw some raccoons getting out of there. He wanted his stuff back. Like we said, 15 years, he wanted his gear back. And we were able to recover a lot of stuff. Not everything, but a lot of stuff. I mean, you see batteries, you see chargers, you see, I mean, stuff that, you know, Hash can tell you exactly what they do. I don't know what they do, but I just know that it's a lot of expensive stuff. So because of the iPhone app, Find Your App, we were able to track it to these dumpsters. Well, like I said, Hash jumped in there. Not everything was recovered. I mean, in terms of value of some of the stuff that was not, how much would you say is still floating around out there?
Computers and cameras were still out many thousands of dollars.
Right, so they got the good stuff. Some of our stuff got recovered. You know, a lot of times this stuff doesn't get recovered, but you know, we were able to recover some of it. So somewhat of a happy ending. Thank goodness for the iPhone app. Right, so we were doing a story on one app, and a different app ended up saving us. But all in all, you know, not too bad of a loss. Although I'm sure the station wouldn't agree with some of the stuff.
What I find so interesting, Mola, is that someone took the time to take all that stuff and then dump what they did not think was valuable to them, but then kept some stuff. For instance, most people would take the iPhone and try to sell it. The reason they didn't take hers was cracked.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, you know, they could have been smart enough to know that the iPhone was being tracked. You know, that could have been a possibility. And also, some of the stuff that they dumped, for a regular person, for a civilian, I mean, what are you going to do with a camera battery? What are you going to do with this thing? So, I mean, it makes sense to dump some of this stuff, but they got away with some pretty good gear still.
They did.
So we filed the police report. Hopefully they still track them down.
All right, Mola. Glad you guys are at least safe. Thank you. All right.